we turn to the Middle East, which faces war and fragile ceasefires impacting the lives of Christians striving to live their faith. Joining us now to discuss Christianity in the Middle East is Alberto Fernandez, EWTN News contributor and a former U.S. diplomat. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Can you give us an overview of what Christian persecution looks like right now in the Middle East?
Well, in the Middle East, especially this year, what we've seen is kind of the slow, hidden persecution. There have been a few spectacular examples of direct, open persecution. Obviously, the horrific bombing of a Greek Orthodox church in June in Damascus by the Islamic State was probably the most horrible public one. But what you see kind of on the day-to-day is the slow, steady pressure of regimes, of Islamic society, in ways that are indirect, that are small, but that are continuous, which basically push Christians out of society, make them feel that they're unwelcomed, and force them to emigrate. That's the reality, the bitter reality on the ground for most Middle East Christians today.
What countries are of particular concern?
Well, sadly, there's no country with a substantial Christian minority that is not a country of concern. Certainly, Lebanon, which has traditionally a large Christian population, is a country of concern. Syria and Iraq, which also had traditional Christian communities, which are under tremendous pressure. But even countries that are seen as more stable or Western allies like Jordan and Egypt as well. It's a general trend. And then you have, of course, Palestine, Gaza, where you had Christians were not the target of that war. They were kind of bystanders, kind of not on either side. But they suffered greatly. Basically, there's been a 2-year economic crisis, a depression for Christians because pilgrimages and pilgrims and the money that they spent was disrupted for basically the last 2 years after October 7th, 2023.
Pope Leo recently visited Lebanon and Turkey, setting a diplomatic tone to his first trip to the Middle East. How do you see the Pope playing a role in the protection of Christians there?
Well, he certainly provided great encouragement for the Christian communities of the East, not just in Turkey and Lebanon, but many others, many leaders, patriarchs and archbishops came from throughout the region to meet him, especially in Lebanon. So it was a moment of refreshment, a moment of spiritual encouragement, which I think was very welcomed and very timely by, very well received by the Christians of the Levant. But it was a moment in time, and there are concrete political, economic, and other actions that need to happen as well. That's not in the Pope's purview, although I'm sure he's playing an important role behind the scenes in pushing people to do the right thing.
Alberto Fernandez, thank you so much.
Thank you.